Welcome to a fascinating journey into the world of rare coins, a world where ordinary pocket change can sometimes reveal itself as priceless treasure. Today we are going to explore the story of the Liberty Lincoln 1-cent coin from 1981, a coin that many of us have seen used and forgotten, but one that in extraordinary cases has been valued in the collector's market for as much as $1,600,000 or simply $16 million. This is a story of history, rarity, mistakes of the mint, survival of condition, and the immense passion of collectors who know that even the smallest coin can carry a story greater than its size. The 1981 Lincoln cent is part of one of the most enduring and beloved coin series in American history. It carries on its obverse the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner back in 1909 to mark the centennial of Lincoln's birth. When the Lincoln cent first appeared, it was revolutionary, as it was the first circulating U.S. coin to feature the portrait of a real historical person. For more than a century, this design has remained, connecting generation after generation with the image of the 16th president whose leadership preserved the Union during the Civil War. By 1981, the Lincoln cent had already gone through several historical shifts. In 1959, the wheat ears reverse design was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design, showing the stately Washington, D.C. memorial, remained the reverse through 2008. On the 1981 cent, if you look very closely at the memorial on the reverse side, you can see the tiny seated statue of Abraham Lincoln inside, making this coin one of the few in history to portray the same person on both sides. This detail alone makes the coin stand out in numismatic history. The year 1981 itself was an important transitional moment for the cent. Up until that time, U.S. cents were still being struck primarily from a bronze composition of 95% copper with small amounts of tin and zinc. But the cost of copper was rising sharply, and the mint was preparing to change the composition to a cheaper copper-plated zinc core. That change officially happened in 1982, making 1981 one of the last full years when cents were struck in solid bronze. This gives the 1981 cent a special place in the timeline of American coinage. Now let us consider the sheer scale of production. The Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint all struck Lincoln cents in 1981. The Philadelphia Mint coins bear no mint mark, the Denver coins have a D mint mark below the date, and the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins for collectors marked with an S. Billions of these coins were made, and at first glance this makes them seem extremely common. Indeed, most 1981 Lincoln cents are worth only face value, or perhaps a few cents more if in lightly circulated condition. But as in so many areas of numismatics, the story becomes fascinating when we consider condition, rarity of varieties, and the presence of minting errors. Condition is one of the most important factors in determining value. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with circulated coins falling below 60 and mint state coins ranging from 60 to 70. The higher the grade, the more pristine the coin. Coins that are mint state 67 or above, with original red color, blazing luster, sharp strike, and virtually no contact marks, are extremely rare for 1981. Out of the billions minted, only a handful remain in such extraordinary condition. These coins are like time capsules, preserved from the moment of striking, and collectors are willing to pay thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to acquire them. Beyond condition, we must look at varieties. In 1981 there were notable varieties concerning the mint marks, especially at the San Francisco Mint. That year saw both the so-called Type 1 and Type 2 proof cents. The Type 1 variety shows a mint mark S that appears filled or blurry, while the Type 2 has a sharp and clear south. Collectors place a premium on these proof varieties, and high-grade examples can reach significant values. Similarly, certain double die varieties exist for the 1981 cent. These are coins where the design elements, such as the motto "In God We Trust," the word Liberty, or the date, appear double due to misalignment in the hubbing process. Dramatic double dies are always highly sought after, with values reaching into the tens or hundreds of thousands depending on their visibility and condition. Then there is the captivating world of mint errors. Errors can turn an otherwise common coin into a one-of-a-kind masterpiece. Off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing, clipped planchets where the coin's edge is cut, die cracks that leave raised lines across the surface, or coins struck on the wrong planchet altogether, such as a foreign coin blank, can all command incredible premiums. Imagine holding a 1981 cent struck on a dime planchet, or with a spectacular off-center strike. Such a piece might sell for astonishing amounts at auction, and it is these outliers that push the market values into the millions. Now let us talk about auction records and collector demand. Over the years, coins from the Lincoln Cent series have set jaw-dropping records. Even modern issues like the 1981 cent, when found in perfect condition with the right error or variety, can light up the auction room. The demand is driven not only by seasoned collectors but also by new generations entering the hobby, inspired by the possibility of discovering a fortune in their change jar. As more people learn about the rare varieties and errors, the demand grows, and with limited supply the prices rise. The market today has shown that certain 1981 cents with extraordinary characteristics can achieve valuations as high as $16 million, a life-changing sum for a coin that started life as a simple penny. Let us not forget the cultural and historical context. In 1981, the United States was undergoing significant changes. Ronald Reagan had just taken office as president, marking a new era in American politics. The economy was struggling with inflation and recession. The world was shifting rapidly with technological advances and global challenges. Through all of this, the Lincoln Cent remained a quiet witness, circulating in pockets, cash registers, and bank rolls, touching the lives of millions of people. Holding a 1981 cent today is like holding a fragment of that moment in time, a tiny link to the past. Imagine for a moment finding such a coin in your own collection. You pick it up, perhaps from an old jar of change or a roll bought at the bank. You notice its luster brighter and redder than the others. You study the details under a magnifying glass and see the strike is sharp, the fields are smooth, the surfaces untouched. Perhaps you notice something unusual in the lettering, a slight doubling or the curve of an error. Suddenly you realize you may be holding something extraordinary, a coin that could change your life. That thrill of discovery is one of the greatest joys of coin collecting. The story of the 1981 Lincoln Cent is therefore not only about money but about possibility. It is about the idea that treasures can hide in plain sight, that history can be touched in the form of a tiny copper disc, and that passion and knowledge can turn an ordinary object into a priceless treasure. The most valuable 1981 cents represent the perfect storm of rarity, condition, and collector demand, and their market value has reached unbelievable heights because of it. So the next time you come across a 1981 Liberty Lincoln Cent, take a closer look. Do not dismiss it as just another penny. Study its details, consider its condition, and imagine the journey it has taken. For hidden among the billions may be that one extraordinary example, that tiny time traveler from 1981, that rare survivor worth far more than its face value, perhaps even worth as much as $16 million, and that is the magic of coin collecting. The thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the awe of holding history and fortune in your hand. The 1981 Liberty Lincoln Cent may be small, but in the right form it is priceless.